is it like returning to a character for a season two? And how do you sort of get ready for that first day of filming? Are you rewatching some episodes, or is it more just mentally getting ready?
It was like we had a long weekend, and then we all came back, and you have all of the support of a lot of the same crew and people around you, and it's like you're going back to work, and we're quite literally picking up where we left off. And it felt very possible because of everybody's incredible abilities and professionalism. And yeah, I don't know, it felt like slipping on a comfortable pair of shoes and walking.
Yeah. But also, I mean, you know that after we've done the show, you know, you go back and you do ADR, and you might do some reshoots, and then you go and do a press tour, and you kind of, usually if that's a film, that's your kind of farewell, you know, as that premiere. But yeah, as Lauren said, it was like we had a long weekend, and we came straight back, and literally we start season 2 directly where we left off. So yeah, it was like we'd just seen one another. It was not that long ago, and we were right back to work. And then of course we had the pandemic and 6-month gap. But even that 6-month gap, when we came back, it's comforting to go back and play the same character with such good writing, you know.
How do you actually tease season 2 without saying anything? Because there's so much I would like to talk about, but it would just ruin the show. So how have you been like telling people about season 2?
Well, for me, I've just been talking about like Dorothy turns away from the vulnerability of the trauma and not facing what happened into a very real problem, and comes into her strength and power. And because of that, there are some really scary moments and scary scenes with Leanne, especially, and the power struggle that they get into. And that was really shocking to me to read, and scary to perform, but ultimately pretty fun.
Where Lauren and Nell's characters go is insane. And then the kind of the spiral of Rupert's character and how that develops. For Sean, it was nice that we had a real problem to deal with. It was nice that they'd given us that. So now there is a real issue. And of course, the baby's gone, and as is the person we both suspect has taken that baby, you know, Leanne, Nell's character. So there's a real thing that we get to deal with. So it gives us back our relationship in a way. It builds that bridge back in, that we're not back to who we were, but we actually have to communicate. And there's a real kind of urgency that I don't pity Dorothy over. I don't go, oh, poor deluded Dorothy, the baby's gone. You know, why are you not out there doing this thing? Why are you not going out? What is that thing? So it gives Sean a reason to start to look for questions that have answers, because his whole cynical nature from before, that he knows everything, is not going to wash with this new problem. But of course, then it's layered, because now he's got to keep the authorities away from the insanity that starts to get more and more out of hand within the house. I don't think that reveals anything.
Right. No, that was great. One of the things about this series is that every time I watch an episode, it just makes me want to drink wine. Because there's the amazing cellar and everyone's drinking wine like nonstop. Did you guys leave? Yeah. Do you leave set and like bring me the bottle?
100%. Yeah, we're all raging heavy drinkers. No, you know what?
I'm tired of grape juice this season. They were like, "We've got pomegranate juice," as if I was supposed to be like, "Oh, amazing! Thank goodness we have a different type of juice." Yeah, I'm glad Sean was supposed to gain some weight this season, because the amount I had to eat, the amount of takes where I'm eating, where I had to just stuff my face repeatedly and swallow gallons and gallons of fruit juice. I think I'm made of high fructose corn syrup at the moment. So, yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot. It is a lot. And yes, apologies for the amount it makes you want to drink. But the wine is so fun. And the cellar's my favorite place. I mean, it's just my favorite place to go. Even on set, you know, between takes, I go down there. There's so many good cookery books to read and, you know, stuff to do. So yeah, I'm bored. I just revealed I'm boring and old.
How much do you know ultimately of where it's all going to go? Because Knight has said he knows where the series is going to end. And how much do you sort of enjoy getting it script by script?
Yeah, I mean, I trust Knight to have a really strong ending, and help us carve away and tell this mysterious story as we go. And that ultimately, that's kind of the fun of it. We do our best to bring the human element to the show, and in the scene that we know what's going on in that scene. And there's so much more to the show than what even is on the page. So it makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, day to day, it's such a creative group. There's so much creativity going into it. People looking after us, overseeing it, or Apple's such a creative company. There's so much. But I think Night thrives on knowing what you don't know. I think, so he loves that. And I think that shows in the genre he kind of carved out for himself. Knowing what you don't is his gig. So, yeah, I'm happy knowing, scene by scene, script by script. So, yeah. Knowing where we're going is not my goal. It's making sure it's authentic, doing my part, because there's so many talented people in the crew, as Lauren said, in the crew in every department. The house is so beautifully done, as we've said so many times before. The effects, everything. The camera work. There's just fantastic artists all the way through this. It's just really a pleasure to get to be one of those in a team.
I got to go. On that note, congrats on this season. I can't wait to finish it. Good luck with the rest of your speed dating.
Same to you, Steve.